So hi all, here's my quick overview of the new DEEBOT, the ECOVACS X1 full setup. So I went all out on this one. So previously we've had one of the older models that was doing just fine, but we wanted to step it up a notch. There's a big difference in the suction power and the amount of maintenance that we need to be able to do on the individual cleaners. So this one was the be all and all and end all upgrade. So let's just do a quick overview for you. Hopefully it'll help somebody else out when they decide to be able to take the plunge as well. So to do a quick overview for you, we have the robot cleaner itself, which is just this unit here. So as you can see, I've just pulled that straight out manually and it's starting to start up itself, starting to say that it needs to go back. It doesn't like you really touching it much, but there is a full automated process to allow it. And then we've got the box itself, so that's this little tuck-in shelf we've got here. As you can see, it's all perfectly shaped for it. See, now the robot cleaner's going back in there on its own. I haven't pressed anything, but pulling it out means that it goes back in. It's great amusement for the kids, that one. And then we've got a general overview of it here, as long as my camera stays still. So nice little badge, little features on these ones. Got some controls up here. These are all lockable via the app. So you can turn these on and off if you want to, if you've got kids that won't stop touching. And then inside we've got this full instructions on the lid there. And then we've got the dirty water and the clean water containers, along with the mop storage, which is also in there. So those just literally pull out on a separate section that sits inside. The water storage drawers are also just lift out and put back in. At the moment we're in the stages of upgrading our floor, so I'm only using the vacuum process on this specific robot. So then inside this little compartment here, it's very hard to see, but there is actually a door here. So just underneath here there's a little button that you press, and that opens up the door for the bag. So the bag is here. It looks like it's filling up a little bit by now. I mean, it's surprising how little that actually fills up, but how much it actually takes off the floor. So I reckon maybe once a month we'd have to probably change that bag over. And because of the condition of it, the way that it holds it perfectly in place as well, I reckon you could probably pull the contents out and actually reuse one of these bags if you're a little bit more eco-conscious, a little bit more or money-conscious, to be able to look after everything. So there we go. It has voice recognition as well, so we can actually tell it to say something. Let's see whether I can wake it up. Hi, Eco. No, it's not going to listen to me. Okay, Eco.
Sorry, YIKO voice assistant is turned off.
Oh, apparently.
Let's turn it on via app.
Apparently I've turned it off because one of the kids was messing around with it and talking to it a little bit too much. So in order to avoid that, I've turned it off. But it recognises that it's turned off and answers me and tells me I'm turned off. But with the voice recognition, we can actually get it to come out, start up, and do most of the jobs it would do. The in-app process is really good. I'll add a little video showing you some of the in-app processes as well. But yeah. You can do all of the usual, you know, setting up your schedules. You can set up areas to target. You can put in virtual boundaries so that it doesn't do specific areas. All of this kind of good stuff to be able to make sure that the robot cleaner is basically doing everything for you without you touching it. So yeah, thanks all for watching. Hopefully this has been able to give somebody a quick overview of what it is, and maybe it will help you make a decision on whether you think this is right for yourselves. Personally, I'm a big fan. I love not having to do work around the house and making a little robot do it for me. And this one seems to be the best thing out there on the market, in my opinion. Thanks for watching. Of the ECOVACS app as well. Right, we've got, this is what I call it Eco, just to be able to remind me that that's the name of it. As you can see on this part here, we've got the name Eco, which we can rename and do whatever we want to. We've got this button here, which gives us all the voice assistant selections and tells us how we can manage it. On the main part of it, we have the battery overview, which shows us that it's at 100% right now. We've got an auto cleaning button. Literally pressing that one sends it off to be able to go cleaning. It doesn't look at the map itself, it just goes out there and cleans. The recharge button, that's obviously sending it back to its base. And then we've got the Enter Smart Cleaning and Enter Video Manager. So I'm going to go into the Enter Smart Cleaning. This is where we get lots and lots of different options on here. So as you can see on here, I've got a couple of virtual boundaries across in my house. I've got the living room with the main table. You can see all of these spaces that it hasn't been able to go onto. That's basically my table and the furniture around it, with the virtual boundaries in the way. And you can see how it's done this cross-grid pattern. That's because I have my cleaner set on to come on, do a double vacuum every night. So at midnight it comes out, does a vacuum, goes back to charge and empty, and then comes back out and does another vacuum. And that creates a really nice grid pattern, which you can see when you complete view cleaning log. We can take a look at that if we want to. Otherwise, on the top right hand corner, we've got access to the video section on it. So I would be able to put that straight in, but we're not going to go into that one. We've got the 3D view of my house plan, which brings up this 3D house map. You can add furniture and everything else like that into it if you want to. This is going to pull up a quick plan of my house, as you can see there, which you can use your finger and move around, and you can see the little red lines. Those are the virtual boundaries. They're all in place. And then we can go over to we've got the auto section on the bottom here, which shows us map management, which we can go in and we can have various different maps for the individual houses that we're in. I've only ever found the need for one map personally, but you know. And then we've got a docked button. That dock button tells us the insufficient water. As I mentioned earlier on, I'm currently only vacuuming. But we've got lots of other options in there, like the dirty water tank. We can empty the dust cleaner if you decide that you want to have an extra empty onto it, and lots of other information on the docking station itself. And then the little secret bit here, which it took me a while to figure out, you've got the drag up, and that gives us lots of settings for cleaning preferences. So on here, I've got a standard cleaning preference. We can customize that. I put it on, do a double clean whenever it comes on. I've got the vacuum power set to max because we're all carpets, reasonably deep pile. Water flow level, I've got it set on to low at the moment because obviously we're not doing that at the moment. And then we've got the cleaning sequence, which we can go into there and we can set it so that it does one room before another. And then we've got the smart cleaning section in here, and that's going to show us what kind of cleaning it's doing. So I've got deep is about 10 minutes, which means that it goes back to the dock station every 10 minutes to be able to empty itself. The hot air drying time is when you're using your mop section with the auto empty setup. So it just returns to the station to empty the dust after it's finished cleaning, and I set that on automatic. So whenever it feels like it needs to empty the dust, it will do. My cleaning schedule, as you can see on here, it's on every day at midnight, every single day, cleaning preference auto, and I've got it on repeat every single day. So every night, in the middle of the night, it comes on, runs through its own process, and I don't have to worry about it. I just come down to a nice clean floor, and that is just one of those things that I love. Then we've got your custom settings on here, which means that you can drag and resize these little boxes, and I can say, okay, I want to clean under the table. So you pull your chairs out, you pop this little cleaning custom setting in there under the table and tell it to go and clean under the table for you on one specific time. But yeah, there's a generalized overview for you. Hopefully it's helped somebody show you exactly how this thing works, and it'll help you make your mind up as to how good these vacuums are.